How is everyone doing today? I'd like to take the time to welcome you to another Morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center video. I am your host, Dietrich Hubbard, and today we're going to continue a message entitled It's Time. It's time. And so today, I don't feel this to be a somber or self-righteous lesson. I think I truly have to be transparent as I can to allow many of you to understand what God is doing in this present time. That's why, I oftentimes, if y'all remember, I used to tell you, especially people who have a prophetic anointing, I say you got to really accept your life because your life is the totality of who you are. You got to learn when to share when to share certain parts of your life in certain times in your life, because everybody can't handle a prophetic life. And because sometimes we just have to tell it like it is, irregardless of how we may look. But then you got to understand that if someone else involved, you can't be so forthright with what you say that you damage that other person's reputation or you just got to be honest to a point. So when we talk about this time today, I'm gonna be honest to a point. And the reason I got to be honest to a point, because I don't want many of you to fall in certain situations that didn't happen to me, or that you may have seen happen to others. Uh, because one of my favorite scriptures is that Philippians 1, round by verse 12. And it talks about, but I would ye should understand, brethren, that the things which happened unto me have fallen out rather unto the furtherance of the gospel, so that my bonds in Christ are manifest in all the palace and all other places, and many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. So what you got to understand, the reason I have to say how I say and say things that most people won't say is because I don't want you to be in bondage to your life. See, when Paul talks about the things that happen to me is a furtherance of the gospel, that means as I release revelation, if something inside of you that you're struggling with, that you can't comprehend, that you don't know how to explain, my life and the things I go through, oftentimes it ain't easy. So I got to know what to say and what not to say, and I really feel obligated that for many of you, I really have to apologize for the way my marriage ended. Because you got to understand that in a marriage, you got to know you got to know what's going on at all times. And a lot of times we'll overlook things, what's going on, because we really don't want to deal with what's going on. And we those that follow us, y'all seen the happiness. They went where they wanted to go, did what they wanted to do. And for the most part, I never said nothing. But at some point, people have to realize when something's over, it's over. And what happens to a lot of us, I think I talked that a couple of weeks ago. We live on the what if of life. All right. And a lot of us hold on to a what if, and what happens, we holding on something that we don't know the outcome of what it's going to be, because a lot of times we don't pursue God in the things that is going on in our life. So if I said something, I'm not trying to paint her as a bad person. For the most part, I'm just saying things that that it's just the way I see it. I had to go pick up some papers, and I'm looking at it, and what get me, and it made me chuckle. It said dissolution of marriage with no dependent or minor children or property. Y'all know I've been talking about them forks and spoons, don't you? Y'all know I've been talking about my towels, my sheets, my spreads, my crock pot. How is it that you can marry a person that really didn't? I had a whole condo full of furniture, and it wasn't cheap. I had dishes. I had pots and pans. I had plates. I had bowls. And I'm looking and I laugh. Because you took everything. He said no property. How in the hell I didn't have no property? When you came to my house, I had everything. And now all I got is clothes. See, when y'all marry, and that's what I'm telling y'all in this season. If y'all trying to date somebody, if y'all want to marry somebody, make sure that they have the same level or energy for God that you got. Why y'all think I've been telling y'all about make sure they hear God? See, watch this. I'm laughing at some of you because you all on social media. My man got to do this, God got to do that. And here, y'all running after a man that don't even know if they hear God's voice. Got to be more careful. You selling wolf tickets. See, I learned something this time. I learned something. Don't overlook something that you should point out. See, we as men, we overlook a lot of things for the sake of keeping a family together. But we don't understand that if we don't say anything, it may hurt on down the line. Now, it said no dependent or minor child. I took care of that damn boy for the boy 13 now. I took care of that boy since he was 3. dissolution of marriage. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It didn't even happen. It didn't happen. Because according to this paper, all I was, watch this, I was a surrogate for somebody who wasn't around. Surrogate. According to this paper, everything I did for the past 9 years, it didn't happen. Watch what it said. So if it say no dependent, that like little Joey didn't even exist to me. It says no property, that means everything I had, it didn't exist to me. Oh, I ain't mad. I'm just looking. See, when you prophetic, you got to look at something for what it is. Then I go see, watch this, I go see who the notary public is. The notary public is the same heifer that she used to sit on the phone and gossip with about other people's business for 1, 2, and 3 hours. This the heifer that signed my paper? Ain't no telling what that heifer done said. Because she knew everybody's business. Y'all remember in Living Color, the lady in the wonder, it ain't got, what she said, it ain't nothing got to do with me, and she go to telling everybody business. This who this is. And I'm looking. I said, what lie this girl done told? Because the woman, I can look at her and tell she a lie. I'm looking, y'all. Then what gets me, the marriage is irretrievably broken. Do y'all know what irretrievably means? It means not retrievable. It means impossible to regain or recover. Now watch this. This is the trouble we got. And this is what God told me. He said, this is why you hate her. Because I told y'all, I don't bite my tongue. He said, this is why you hate him. He gonna hate me. I'm gonna hate her for Joey to call me and the first thing out of his mouth is, hey, dad, and I got to say, I'm not your dad. That gonna kill me. It gonna kill me when he calls, say, hey, dad, I need such and such. I'm gonna say, I can't do it because it's irretrievably broken. When something broken and it says impossible to regain or recover, how is something that you can't regain or recover, how can you try to regain it with something that was a part of what's broken? All y'all got to go. Because it's irretrievably broken. So I can't be hanging on a thread because of little Joey. Mama said it's broken. Ain't no Gorilla Glue over here. It may sound hard to some of you. It may sound low down. That's why God said I hated her, because I understood something. That gonna break my heart to tell that boy that. He ain't gonna understand. It gonna break my heart for him to walk around with a spirit of abandonment because the man I only knew as daddy don't say nothing to me no more. He gonna have to grow up how I grew up. See, y'all got to realize when you seeking love and happiness, you got to look at the totality of what you're doing. Now, I ain't got to come back. Nah, brother Hubbard, all right. But I was talking to my doctor, to my therapist, and when I went and got these papers, I came out and I'm looking at them, and I had to call them right quick. I said, I feel mad, I feel angry. I said, I want to get revenge. Don't do that, Deidre. I said, why I can't? You'll lose more than you gain. Stop thinking you got to get revenge on everybody because people don't move how you want them to move. So according to this sheet of paper, I've been in a fantasy life for 9 years. But guess what? I'm the only one that's in the fantasy because I'm the one that left with nothing and they got everything. I didn't even get I ain't get no faults. Hell, I bought all the TVs in the house. What you mean I ain't got no property? But you know what? When I go in there and I sit in that living room and I see that big old 60-inch curved TV, and I think about that little 50 some inches that I had sitting in the living room, bump that TV. I can walk through the door, and because it's curved, I can see the picture before I even sit down. Y'all stop holding on to things that's gone. See, when people want to leave you, don't allow them to use what they got to stay connected to you. See, somebody gonna hurt. Just make sure it ain't you. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick up my phone and I'm gonna look at that number and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna pull up. I'm trying to help y'all get over something. I'm gonna pull up this number and I'm gonna dial it and I'm gonna wait on it to ring, because one thing about it, I got mine. He might not be all, but I got mine. No, he ain't no scholar, but he's smart. You get what I'm saying? He ain't got it all together, but he mine. He don't know what's going on in his life, but he mine. Watch this. You will never be a man to a woman child that you can't direct. What's happening, buddy? What you doing? What's all that music in the background, boy? Who was that doing all that cussing? What you around, boy? Never mind, I was just checking on that. I'll call you back. You see that? I can call my son anytime, right in his element. Boy, who is that doing all that cussing? What's all that rap music? I did that for a reason. I can direct him. See, you women with these children, especially if you marry a man with children, if you can't put no direction in their life, you don't belong in their life. If all you good for is providing, but you can't provide direction, you better run. Better run. He don't get high. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be no alpha. All he want to be is himself. And a lot of you women and men for that matter, you raising children that can't even be themselves because you point them in the direction you want them to go. I'm almost through with the book. See, a lot of you raising children that ain't even the way God wants them to go. It's the way you want them to go. And for some of you, I'm putting in an investment. How do you know that you're gonna get a return on your investment? How you know you're gonna live to see that investment? How you know that if you ain't here, they ain't gonna do what you invested to do. I invested in my boy. Hell, he went to jail. Only return I want on him is a relationship with God. That's what I should have asked him. What's the scripture for today? I bet he'll tell me. What kind of dream you had? I bet he'll tell me. When them new Jordans coming out? I bet he'll tell me. Ain't nothing wrong with living in this world. What's wrong when you allow this world to affect how you live? Man, I looked at this thing and I laughed and I got angry. Man, I probably had over $17,000 worth of stuff, give or take, in my house. And to get a piece of paper and say I ain't got nothing, ain't no property, that means you ain't did nothing for my son. You ain't did nothing for me. And I was laughing because I said yesterday, I said today is the number 15. 15 signifies rest. I said a lot of us gonna rest in deliverance, and a lot of us gonna rest in bondage. I'm free, as far as I'm concerned. You can have all that. I don't care. Listen to him. Every time I started over, I always got better. It was not one time in my life that I lost that I lost anything, and God didn't give me better and double for my trouble. You know what season I'm in now? God, I want my consolation prize. Consolation. The comfort received by a person after a loss or disappointment. A person or thing providing comfort to a person who has suffered. In sports, it say a round or a contest for tournament entrants who have been eliminated before the final, often to determine third and fourth place. Let's break that down. I lost my marriage. I lost everything in the house, but I had a relationship with God. That's disappointing. 9 years down the drain. What's the next definition? A person or thing providing comfort to a person who has suffered. Man, if y'all was seeing where I stay, y'all would have said, that's why you did too many people see it. Yeah, what Brother Hubbard doing at a place like that? It was bad, but it was bad for me from what I'm looking for. From where I came from, brother. Man, don't y'all laugh at me. You know, don't laugh at me now. I can't. They came in the room the other day. Hey, I seen a bug. I said, what kind of bug? A little roach? She said, I don't have roaches. You know what I said? I said, I thought I sprayed everything. One of them might have hid. I said one of them might have hid in my suitcase. Because it was roaches around that darn beagle. That beagle did it, but because of where I stayed and the way the people lived around me, you know, they would come on over from time to time. You know, I kept my bingo, I kept my little jail stuff, and then I set off bombs every week because I don't deal with bugs. But I was laughing. I said, God dog, I done brought some trash in my new house. Huh? To me, that's suffering. I got to walk out my door and smell weed or cigarette smoke, and you see sissies and people cussing people out, and the darn he moved, thank God. But the darn crazy man out there talking to himself, cussing himself out. I suffer. We ain't gonna talk about the demons that was attacking me, late in the night trying to get me to commit suicide and do all this. Man, Brother Hubbard went through that. But guess what? Nobody never know if I just didn't say something. But somebody did know. And the person that did know, that should have supported me, they didn't say nothing. They didn't even try to come help. I ain't gonna call no name. A round or a contest. See, I got eliminated playing the game. But guess what? I'm up for a consolation prize. See, I might not have did everything wrong. Brother Hubbard ain't perfect. They might have told me to start when I hear the gun go off, but I might have ran before the gun came off. They probably told me to go straight, and I took a shortcut. So I didn't play the game fair. But I had enough faith in God that at least I got a consolation prize for me. What's your consolation prize? What is it? So what's happening? A lot of you are in a season in your life that you don't know what to do. I told it to you the other day. James 1:5. If any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. What we miss about that scripture, that you got to understand, God will give you wisdom even in a difficult situation. God will give you wisdom even when you're in a traumatic situation. God will give you wisdom even when you're in a situation and you know you're doing wrong. But the problem is, a lot of you don't want to ask God because you're scared God will tell you no. That's proof enough that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, so you don't need the wisdom of God. Just don't do what you want to do. Because see, then we got to go over to Proverbs 3:5-6. It said, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Don't nobody want to submit to God. We submit to 30-inch weed. We submit to makeup. We submit to men and women that we're not married to. But we got a hard time trusting God and submitting to him. I wonder why is that? Because for many of you, you know what God gonna say. And see, some of you want God to give you an okay that you already know that you already have the answer no to. My name Bennett, I ain't in it. First Thessalonians 4:11 says, and to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands just as we told you. Why are you worried about what Brother Hubbard doing? Why they around here looking at my videos trying to see what I'm talking about? I live a quiet life. I don't bother nobody. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I take that back. When my debit card got compromised, I, I told somebody to send me a few $100s on my other card because their card tore up and they sent me a few $100. I said I'm gonna give it right back when I get the card. You know what they told me? Don't worry about it. It ain't every day somebody send you $300 because your card messed up, and you tell them you're gonna send it right back, and they say don't worry about it. I live a quiet life. I mind my own business. I work with my hand. Huh? See, for those of you waiting on your consolation prize, hey, y'all go look on Joel page. Let me see, can I find it while I'm on it? I'm finna. The dumb boy bless me. That's all I got to say. Where is it? Because see, I'm telling y'all about these consolation prizes, but you don't understand. Even when God give you what you want, you got a little work to do to get it. God dog, it ain't showing up. Yeah. I'm trying to find it. Let me find it. It blessed me. Woo! Frank sending. Yeah. All right, Frank started a war. I'm looking at him. He done sent Manny some flowers. Now I got to go find somebody to send some flowers to. God dang it! You ain't gonna outdo me. On Joel page, he wrote a revelation. Are you already in the promised land? You know, and it talks about when we was talking about it, he said it was based on him being content. And what he was saying, a lot of time when you in the promised land, just to paraphrase it, but you can go read it, and we talking about milk and honey, you don't understand, to get that honey, you got to go through some bees. So just because you got it good, don't mean you might not get stung every now and then. It don't mean you might not hear no buzzing in your ear. It don't mean that you might drop a little honey on the way. But if you know what God gave you is for you, it's worth working for. And that's how a lot of marriages and friendship ended, because watch what I just said, it wasn't worth working for. Irretrievably broken. And when you got a person with a mindset of something that's not worth working for, you got to think to yourself, well, what have you been doing all this long time? You've been stocking up so you can be shipping out. Because to tell me that I ain't have no property, I know you're a lie. Brother Hubbard had it all. I think my living room suit by itself was over $4,000. You know, Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. See, a lot of y'all gave up right before your breakthrough. And to a lot of y'all, people would thank you for giving up before your breakthrough happened. Because see, a lot of y'all gonna see people living the life that you wanted with them. Oh, it's coming. Because you became weary in doing good. You can't force God to bless you when you think you're ready for a blessing. You can't force God to give you nothing when you just because you ain't got it. You can't force a person to love you the way you want to be loved when you don't even know what love is yourself. Ain't no perseverance on this earth no more. Philippians 1:6 says, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Now my question is this: what have you done for God consistently? Well, you go to church for consistently, but that's not the same as going to God. What have you done for God? See, just because you gave to the church consistently, just because you go to church consistently, just because you read your Bible consistently, that ain't nothing you did for God. That you did that for you. So what in you that God can use to complete himself in you? Nothing, because you ain't got nothing. It's like these women that put these braids in their hair so long, and the next thing you know, you ain't got no edges, so they ain't got nothing to clip on to give you no braids. So now your braids start way back here because all your edges go. Hebrews 10:23 says this: let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful, and let us consider how he may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. A lot of you don't have love and good deeds. You know why? You gossip too much. You lie too much. You trying to ask God about everybody's business but your own. So how can you be faithful to God when you in somebody else's business? Psalms 34:1, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continue to be in my mouth. So how is God praise in your mouth when you gossiping about me? I shouldn't be your topic of discussion when it comes to me. He should be the top of your discussion, because whatever I do is between me and him. Whatever you do is between you and him. But if you worried about what I do, then you ain't talking to him because you worried about me. Keep God's name in your mouth. Psalms 34:8. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. Woo, did y'all feel that? Y'all feel that revelation drop? That's a heavy revelation. Watch this. It didn't say taste and see that she is good. He is good. Cavassier is good. Strawberry vape is good. Pain pill is good. Cough syrup good. That loud good. It said taste and see the Lord is good. The problem is we don't want to know. We don't know what our go-to is when we going through. So instead of taking refuge in God, some of us take refuge in another man, another woman, another job, another shot, another puff, double cup. Until you really taste and see and find refuge in God, you're going to always be confused of who you are in God. See, that's why I say people can say whatever they want to say about me, but you know that they never attack my relationship with God. I might be a dirty, low-down human being, but I guarantee you, when God tells me to do something, that's what I do. The first thing I said last year in January, I said, God told me to tell everybody, My relationship with God is non-negotiable. If I got to lose a family, bye. If my son died, bye. If my mama got to go, bye. Ain't nothing gonna get me to turn on God nor to seek God just to keep it. Because if I got to seek God to keep it, that means God didn't give it to me. You'll never see me praying, sitting around here praying, I hope my wife don't leave me. I hope my wife don't cheat on me. I ain't praying that to God because the blessing of the Lord comes without sorrow. So why am I praying a sorrowful prayer to God? You know why? That shows I'm insecure in God. Because if he gave it to me, listen here. Shouldn't no man be able to say nothing to your woman? The minute they say something to her, I'm from the old school. I'm from the minute they check your girl, she ain't your girl. Because see, when you go out there with them pimps and your girl walking the stroll and that other pimp come up to her and he go to putting them words on her, yeah, baby, you know, I see you walking, but if you come over with me, I'm gonna let you go and walk 3 nights a week and you can have 3 nights off. You ain't got to be here all the time. I'm gonna let you keep half of the money. You just make sure you bring something to me. Next thing you know, he done checked her. And he can't do that because he got her. Listen here. Any man, I done did it before. I didn't know no better. This time, any man that can come get my woman, it wasn't mine to begin with. Now watch this. Because Pip and Ken said, now Pip and Ken done got your girl, but now he only let her work 3 nights, but she got to bring in twice as much money she did when she was working 5 nights. He increased her workload. She didn't know that. I'm trying to help y'all with something, but I got to use the pimp analogy because that's what it is, a pimp game. So you done left your man or your woman because somebody talked a good game, but watch this, where you suffering in. So that shows you what you left wasn't worth it because you suffering in another area, but you might have it made in one. Pimp game. That's all it is. And guess who the pimp? Satan. Satan. Watch this. Let's go on over there to Genesis. Y'all know I like old Genesis too. You know, Satan had a strong pimp game. Verse 1 said he was more subtle than any beast of the field. So watch what he did. He came to Eve with the pimp game. He said, yeah, have God said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? The first thing he did, he tested her knowledge. And the woman said, oh, we may eat of all the fruit of the tree of the garden. He didn't know her limitations. See, a lot of times when the devil comes to you, especially when you're married, he always comes in your limitations, i.e. what you lacking. Watch what she says in verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat, neither shall touch it lest you die. He found her limitation. He came to you, yeah. Well, my husband don't rub on me, he don't kiss me, he don't say I love him, he don't take care of the house. Yeah, my wife, she don't give me sex, she don't cook, she don't clean. All Satan got to do is find what you lacking, and that's what he's sending you. Y'all see how simple that is? Pimp game. But watch what he said. You shall not surely die. Well, baby, come on over here. That nigga don't know what he doing. I come over there and tighten that thing up. Girl, she don't know how to cook from you. Come on over here. I'm gonna cook some of these hog maws and I'm gonna throw these chitlins over in there. And ooh, I'm gonna get you a brisket, and I'm gonna get you some turnip greens, and I'm gonna put you that cornbread dumpling on there, and I'm gonna throw that squash in there, and I'm gonna get you some fried green tomatoes. Come on over here. You can get a plate over here. A lot of y'all messed up because you allow Satan to know your limitation. He got Eve at where she lacked. That's how he doing us now. See, watch this. It's called insecurity is what it's called. If I got to check a woman's phone, I don't need her. I done did it before. I ain't got to ask. Listen, you know what the funny thing about me? I don't even ask. God said, he said, pick up that phone and put this in. I put the password in, the phone come on, I open the phone, I just look at the message. I said, oh, okay. I don't have to listen here. So I don't go around checking phone. I got a God to see all and know all. I ain't got to do all that. See, watch this. If you get into a relationship insecure, the relationship gonna be built on security. If a relationship is built on insecurity, the relationship ain't gonna last because one of you is already in their mind got you gonna fail. That's why I said perfect love casts out fear. The moment you're looking for something wrong, it's love no more, it's fear because you don't want to lose what you got. Ooh, that sounds good, that bro Hubbard. I ain't got time to be, I got too much things on my mind to then worry about who's screwing who and whether she favoring. I ain't got time to worry about no woman. I'm gonna be like Adam. Hey God, the woman you gave me, she down here cheating. You better check her. That's how I do it. Y'all know what's wrong with what I just said? The sad thing is, it's only work if the person got a relationship with God. If they ain't got no relationship with God, they won't feel bad because they are cheating, because they doing it to get even because of what they lacking. They've been pimped. Stop allowing Satan to pimp you out of your relationship with God just because you don't know who you are in God. Stop letting Satan pimp you because you lonely, because you horny, because you broke. You got to be like Theotis. He said you got to stand up in it. Got to stand on business. So watch this. I'm not in the position to tell nobody what they can do, what's right or what's wrong. My position is this season is to stand on your own. Because we ain't got nothing. We ain't got no dog in the fight. God trying to see is you really grown. A lot of y'all ain't. I ain't in a position to tell you what's right, what's wrong, what you can do, what you going, because we all growing. And we can't depend on what we used to depend for our answers. We got to go get it ourselves. See, the one thing about God, you never know the mind of God. People can call me a cheater all my life, but I can meet one woman and everything will go in order. You know why? Because I got a relationship with God. You can be a liar all your life, but you can meet somebody and all you want to do is tell them the truth. It's time to stop playing with God. Either you got him or you don't. If you don't got him, woo, that's country on. If you do not have the Lord, don't be on social media playing like you got him. Don't be on social media talking like you and God walk hand in hand. Be like everybody else who want God. Humble yourself and ask God to show you himself in you. He can't do that through a lie. He can't do that through a lie. And a lot of you lying to yourself. But do what you want to do. I'm going to bed.